There are more than 150 animal rescue organizations in the New York Metropolitan area. These groups take in thousands of dogs, cats, and other animals that would otherwise be put down at the city shelters because of a lack of resources. Many of these animals require emergency medical attention. And today on All for Animals, we're going to tell you about one group that is helping to make that possible.
Friends of Animal Rescue was really basically started 2 years ago, and it was a bunch of concerned animal lovers who got together and realized that smaller and individual rescue groups really don't have access to funds and grants to help them pay for medical, boarding, transportation for when they're doing all of these rescuing. So what we decided to do was get together and start doing fundraising on our own. It's what we're all really good at. So we serve as sort of like a fundraising hub. We do all the fundraising, and then we provide grants to these smaller and individual groups who wouldn't otherwise have access to any of these funds.
In fact, Katie tells us that Friends of Animal Rescue has helped more than 150 animals over the last 2 years.
Well, they range anywhere from, let's say, a bad case of mange to really bad cases of neglect where legs have had to be amputated and major surgeries. So we've been able to help with both those cases. The way it works is a rescue group would go to our website and they would go to our funding page where we have an application form for our grants. And we would evaluate that case, and then we would get in touch with the supplier, whether it's a veterinarian's association or a trainer, and we would work directly with that supplier to negotiate the costs, and then we would pay that supplier directly. We don't pay the rescue groups or the individuals. We actually pay the vets directly.
One of the animals to benefit from a grant is Magic, a stray kitten found with a potentially fatal injury. His foster mom, Jillian Nelson, told us his story.
Well, I'm one of the rescuers in the city that gets the nightly notices of the at-risk animals. And so one evening I got a picture of Magic and a brief story that he was found in Van Cortlandt Park and had a burn on his thigh. I made a quick call to one of my partners who pulls animals, and we realized that he needs a lot of medical care.
He had a severely burned leg?
Yeah, it was probably a friction burn. Sometimes stray cats will jump up into a car engine and then get near the fan belt, which causes a lot of problems. You lose a lot of cats that way.
And so you called Friends of Animal Rescue because?
Eva, my friend, was familiar with the organization, called them, and without hesitation, they offered to help pay for the medical bills and acquainted us with a doctor who has just been incredibly wonderful, both in donating her time and doing it very affordably.
Well, let's give her a plug. Which vet?
Dr. Xanthos, who is a saint among veterinarians.
And so tell me about his medical treatment.
Mostly at this point it involves being on antibiotics, but they did have to do some rather extensive removal of the scar that was there.
So he has a cast, we can see.
Yeah, he has a very swinging little pink cast that gets changed about every 4 days.
And he doesn't seem to mind.
No, he'll have a little attitude about it, but I mean, who wouldn't, you know? I mean,
but he plays and he walks.
Oh yeah, he's starting to get a little bit cheeky, you know, and wrestling with the other cats, and I think he's feeling much better. He doubled his weight in 10 days or 12 days.
Thanks to the medical care, love, and attention he's receiving, Magic's long-term prognosis is excellent. As you can see, he's hardly aware that he even has an injury, and eventually, Jillian tells us only a small scar will remain. When the cast comes off and he gets the all clear from the vet, Magic will be ready for his forever home. So how can somebody support Friends of Animal Rescue?
You can go to our website, friendsofanimalrescue.com, and you can donate online directly, or you can support one of our events that we do throughout the year.
Tell me about those.
Well, we do big fundraising events, and then every month we have what's called Dinner with Friends, where a local New York City restaurant donates 10 to 15% of the proceeds for the evening, where we go out to dinner, all the money goes to our rescue, and we just have a good time, and you help animals at the same time.
And remember, if you're thinking about adopting a pet, please make yours the next great rescue story. You can get a list of shelters and rescue groups near you on the resources page at allforanimals.tv. I'm Susan Richard. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on All for Animals.